Okay, turn 24. So, in research, this turn we hit alteration level 3, which is great. We'll hit alteration level 4 next turn. Still casting arcane probing, not finding anything yet, but it's okay. We also didn't find anything at Oak Beach, but we successfully infiltrated Pangaea. So let's take a look at the score graphs, shall we? In terms of provinces, Pangaea is slightly higher than me. They were 2 above, now they're 1 above. They expanded a lot more quickly, but then they also plateaued more quickly. To me, this looks like either Pangaea has misfortune and is losing provinces pretty steadily to invasion events, as well as retaking them, or they're in a stalemated war that they're not making progress in. I just lost my words for a second there, wow. Niflheim, I would venture to guess, is still somewhere down here. In terms of forts, however, I have, it looks like 2 more forts than Pangaea does, which is great. I have a huge production advantage. In terms of income, likewise, I have a ton more income than Pangaea was. Also, Pangaea has also a huge production advantage. Gem income and research I can't see. My gem income is pretty freaking good, to be honest, and so my research is alright too. In terms of army size, this is kind of interesting. My army size is greater than Pangaea, but what's actually relevant is the curve. See, Pangaea's army size is going up pretty quickly. Mine was fairly low there, spiked, but now it's going up at a significantly higher angle. So I'm basically, this shows to me that I'm leveraging my production advantage well by producing a lot more troops than Pangaea is. And if this continues, I'll overpower them. And in terms of ascension points, I don't have any yet because the only thrones that have been claimed are the Inner Throne by Mari and the Throne of Death by Pelagia. Throne of Death is such an interesting one, because, I mean, it objectively hurts you. Like, it makes your dominion worse in a significant and undeniable way. But it also gives you a lot of death income. Like, my total death income right now is 2. Throne of Death gives you 5. It's important. It is valuable. So, army's still moving down to Ulm. The army of Nazca is moving away, at least part of it. And we've got some Condors and Supayas over here as well. It looks like they tried to attack Resting Heights, because that was under siege last turn, and failed, which is interesting. They might have gotten Iron Blizzarded to death, I suppose. That can always happen when you're fighting Ulm. And it's very unfortunate when it does. But in any case, they didn't manage to break this fort yet. So that fort gets to stand for another turn or so. Where's my scout? There's a scout. Let's run over there and see what all they have. This guy's still sneaking down there. I've got my 2 scouts up here that are sneaking into, no, don't go that, don't do that. That are sneaking into Shinoyama's territory. Up here, I've got Gao Yao, the Fire Random Imperial Alchemist. Once I hit Enchantment 4, which will be a little while, because I'm going to go down Alteration and then Construction first. But once I get that, he can actually cast Flaming Arrows just by himself, as I said last turn. So, that means that, archers are actually pretty much just as valuable as crossbows. They're hit, since they'll have that armor-piercing fire attack, and they'll get to shoot twice as quickly. So, I'm actually going to kind of recruit a mix here. I'm going to pump out a whole bunch of Imperial archers from the capital, along with some cavalry for flankers, and then some infantry blockers. And against the Daibakemono, those archers with flaming arrows will do pretty well. I've also got Jormunda down here forging Clam of Pearls, which she can give to Imperial Geomancers to give them free astral pearls that they can use for Power of the Spheres, Light of the Northern Star, all those kinds of astral buff spells, Body Ethereal, you know, what have you, whatever it is that I need them to do. In the meantime, Yazi is searching for sites here in Darkwoods where he's built his temple. We're getting a Master of the Way coming up. Over here, recruiting more archers and blockers. I guess I don't need Imperial Footmen. Give me just standard footmen, because you can have more of them. Down here, still recruiting crossbows and blockers. Down here, crossbows and blockers, plus 1 Ministry Guardsman. I actually have more resources, so let's make that several Ministry Guardsmen. That'll help give me a harder hitting infantry force. And over here, once again, infantry and blockers. Let's make that an Imperial Footman. I'm actually short on gold here. Yeah, 4 Imperial Footmen will be fine. And army's closing in. Probably it's going to take 2 turns to finish breaking down Ulm, but that's fine. We'll get all these troops in, we'll get them all arranged, get everything sorted, and be ready to move in at the appropriate moment. Fenric here is doubling back in order to provide leadership to my armies. And overall, everything is going well. Not much has changed since last turn. It does look like Ashdod is getting counter-raided. So a Jotun scout just stole this province. Of interest, Jotun scouts, I don't remember if it's true in the Middle Age. Ha! It is! They're sacred. Yeah, Jotun scouts are sacred, which means that you can actually thug Jotun scouts. If you have a decent bless, which Jotunheim often won't, but Niflheim in the early era certainly will. If you have a decent bless for giants, Jotun scouts actually have pretty good stats plus giant HP. And of course, they're stealthy, so you can turn these guys into light thugs very easily and use them to raid provinces, which is sort of hilarious. Also, they can build temples. So in any case, this Jotun scout has taken back this province. We've got a Jotunheim province right next to Ashdod itself. So Ashdod seems to be struggling just a little bit. They've palisaded this province, but haven't upgraded the fort yet. And that is Atlantis. So Atlantis is down here. I think I already knew that. Pelagia and Is up here fighting with Urmor. Okay, cool. I'm going to move Ying Ying off of Pangaea. Keep exploring a little bit. Still there's a neutral down here, which is funny. I would have expected pretty much all the neutrals to be gone at this point. And Bandar Log seems to be still just monkeying around in here. Statis's Dominion has diseased that scout, so that's unfortunate. Okay, so I think that's basically going to be the turn. Right now we're still kind of building up. Both these provinces are at maximum PD at this point. So I could move these. I'm going to move Phelin in here into Pergamy in order to help provide leadership for troops. Or actually, I'm going to double him back down to the capital, because the capital is churning out a lot more troops. So he can help provide leadership there. I've got 48 units here, but I've already got one commander and one eunuch. So that's 80 leadership total. It's resources I'm short on. I only have 71 resources in this province. Ugh. Cancel those guys. Give me longbows. Yeah, 45, 10, 12, 40, 11, 11. Slightly lower attack, but higher damage. So yeah, let's just pump out as many longbows here as I can. And that will be, I think, all I need. I'm going to start pulling together another battle communion to go up north sometime pretty soon. I think Shinoyama is going to be the next target, but could be that I take this army and swing sideways into Jotunheim to help finish them off. I don't want to go to war with Nazca. I just don't. I don't want to do that yet. I mean, it'll be in some ways worse once they start spamming out Suppaya's full bore, but oh boy, woof, Nazca. What I may do is I may contact Pangaea and see if I can convince them to help me fight Nazca, because I do not want to do it alone. Also, interestingly, this right here, this mountain range completely cuts this off. So there's actually no way to get across here. There are no passes. In order to cross this mountain range, you have to go all the way down here into Shinoyama's territory and around. So Nazca, they must be down here somewhere in these mountains. And even though they fly, I don't think they can get across. They can't get across there. So they're just gonna... They have actually a fantastic defensive position. Because, like, if Nazca is one of these provinces here, they can't be attacked from the north. They can't be attacked from the south. In order to attack them, you have to go through here or one of these provinces. That's kind of a pain in the neck, too. In any case, as my research gets higher, once I get some higher level summons and such, I'll be better. I'll be more comfortable about attacking Nazca, but for right now, I just would rather be friends with the birds. Because I don't want to deal with that freaking luck thunder weapons bless if I don't have to. Or until I have to. In any case, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in turn 25. Alright folks, Mandala turn 25. If we look at our messages, we have hit alteration level 4. Alteration level 5 will finish in 2 turns. We've done a whole lot of searching for magic sites and found none, but that's okay. These things have to be expected. In Resting Heights, Nazca bounced a scout off of Ulm, and in Sotera, Ashdod attacked Jotunheim and won, so they cleared this province back out. retook the place with a few unblessed Anakites. Even unblessed Anakites are just murder machines, so that worked out well for him. The walls of Ulm are severely damaged, so one more turn should do it. In Ulm, we got extra resources, a slightly lowered population, and then in Nam we got plus 10 income, which is great. Now, I have been told by Nazca that he was pushed off of this fort because Ulm has a geared super combatant, their pretender god here, who is... I've forgotten the name of the chassis, the Allfather, that's right. He's Odin, basically. And what that means is he's a Titan with very high, like, elf-level defensive stats and glamour, and he's mounted, I think can fly. And he's geared up with a number of items, including, oddly, Faithful, which is an artifact sword that gives the wielder luck. I don't know how he has Faithful at this point of the game. I think there's a random event that can spawn it. But in any case, what that means is he has luck, and so 75% of the time when he should die, he won't die. Very frustrating. This army is gathering up to finally take Resting Heights here, which they should be able to do, I think. But in any case, it's not a huge worry for me because he's down here and not guarding Ulm. So I should be able to bust into Ulm in one more turn, as I said. My troops are gathering in my forts, and I'm looking to shift them in a different direction. That said, I don't yet know where. I could go up towards Shinuyama, talked about that. I could go towards Bandar Log. I'm still a little bit indecisive. To be honest, though, I think probably I'm going to attack Jotunheim. That is going to put me in a very weird position, though, which is I'll be between two of the infamously powerful factions, Ashdod and Nazca. Nazca's gone Hellblast. Like, Nazca has gone full meme, as it were. Ashdod has done the opposite, of course, so them I can take. Like, unblessed Anakites are tough, but they're not... My troops can kill them fairly effectively. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So, these units... Or I could join up to attack Bandar Log, because I've been offered an alliance to do that before already. I kind of like my current borders, to be honest. Okay, I think what I'll do is I'll actually attack... Oh, it's so hard to decide. I'm going to have to do some diplomacy. I'll work it out. I don't know right off the top of my head at the moment. There's 3 different options, all of which could work well. But for right now, we're just going to kind of sit tight. After I hit Alteration, we're going to go down to Construction level 4, which should only take 1 or 2 turns at that point. After that, I'm going to grab Enchantment level 4. Enchantment level 4 will give me Flaming Arrows, which will be very, very good. Enchantment level 5 will give me Living Mercury, which will be even gooder. And Alteration level 5 gives me Internal Alchemy, and level 6 gives me Manifest Vitriol. Manifest Vitriol is a very, very good spell. And with a little bit of boosting, my Imperial Alchemists can cast it just fine. They need a water bracelet. So I need to go up to level 6 construction in order to do that. So that will be, just going to keep that in my back pocket. That will be a little bit in the future. I could also use more Celestial Masters. Right now I'm recruiting another Imperial Alchemist. That's fine. I'll stick with the other Imperial Alchemist for now. Got mages coming out pretty much everywhere. I think I've stopped recruiting my double scouts because I want more mages, basically. Research is going up quite quickly. I'm up to 450 at this point, which is definitely good. You can see we're getting the right size of curve there. So yeah, the reason I'm considering attacking Jotunheim is just because, you know, they're already in a war. And backstabbing someone who's already in a war is always a good idea. Also, this guy has been fairly uncommunicative, so I don't feel bad about hosing him. Bandar Log and I kind of have an agreement, and I'm not scared of Bandar Log in the late game. Jotunheim can be a little bit rough in the late game, because they can do the same Gigya Scrati thing that Niflheim can do. They can't quite do the Turbo Communions, because Gigyas are capital only for Jotunheim, but they can recruit a ton of Scrati. And Scrati are very powerful mages and decent thugs, so fighting them in the late game is super, super annoying. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to get my dudes together and go after Jotunheim next. That will be fine. So this army with Yu Qiang should come over this way. Also, I've now recruited in my mages, among others, Hao Tu, Hao Chu, and Ma Wang. So, I'm sorry, I can't help but think that some of these are racist caricatures. They're a little bit funny, though. Anyway, and these guys should come over... Yeah, let's move south with them and head them down to there. That'll take about 3 turns. Might want to actually get Enchantment 4 before Construction 4. Just for timing purposes. Let's do that. Alteration 5 will also open up Wooden Warriors, which my Imperial Alchemist will be able to cast. I'll have 4 Imperial Alchemists by the time I go in. One of them can cast Flaming Arrows, and all of them can cast Earth... Well, all of them can cast... Losing my train of thought. All of them can cast Wooden Warriors, and they will also be able to cast Earth buffs. They'll also be able to cast, of course, Strength of Gaia, the nature self buff that gives you regeneration and bark skin and increased nature magic. So that will be fantastic, because without that, they are sad, vulnerable old men. And I need them to be less sad and less vulnerable. So, that is going to be turn 25. I'll see you all in turn 26 as we prepare for the next war against Jotunheim. Take care. Okay, folks, turn 26 of Mandala. We have broken the fort at Ulm, and we are beginning to storm it. Beyond that, not a whole lot happened this turn, except Pangaea cast Mother Oak. Now, this has to be expected. Pangaea always casts Mother Oak, and this is... it's a little early, I guess, but it's about the time in the game when Pangaea will cast Mother Oak. So their base nature income is now 15. Plus, of course, they've found a Glen of Verdant Greenery, and they'll have found a whole bunch more nature sites. So they're pulling in like 20 plus nature gems per turn at this point. Given what my total gem income is, for using myself as an example, that's bad. That's a very bad thing, especially because Pangaea can spawn fortresses using nature gems with their national spell in forests. Normally that's a little bit of a limitation, but it just so happens that half of the provinces near Pangaea are, in fact, forests. So that will not actually limit them much at all. That's a forest too, that's a forest. Yeah, so that's scary and bad and wrong, and I don't like it, and I don't want it to happen, but nothing I can do about it. I'm storming Ulm with about 300 units, plus all my mages behind it. I forget exactly how many mages this is, but it's a lot. They're all either communion slaves or mind burning. I'm not bothering to drop gifts from heaven. Now, that's a little bit of a risk because, and let me show you why. There was a battle in Troya. That super combatant god I was warned about just showed up, Odin. So, Odin the Allfather over here, he's got full gear, including a vine shield and a horror helmet, plus a chainmail of displacement. So lots and lots of stuff, and a ring of regeneration. Tons of gems spent on this bad boy. What that means is that he's extremely hard to kill. His defense skill is through the roof. His protection is quite high. His magic resistance is high-ish, although not as high as it could possibly be. But more importantly, he has luck. So he has a 75% chance of just not being hurt by any attack that would normally kill him. This is really bad because it means that Gifts from Heaven is not a very effective way to kill him. Normally, if I hit him with one meteor, he'd be dead. With luck, I have to hit him with an average of 4. And Gifts from Heaven is pretty inaccurate. So I could spam Gifts from Heaven at him, but I couldn't guarantee that it would, and it could work. It could just wipe him right out, but I couldn't guarantee that it would work. The other thing I can do is I can throw Mind Burn at him. Mind Burn will at least burn his hit points down. It won't kill him instantly, but I can throw a lot of Mind Burn without getting tired at all. So I'm thinking I might as well just do that. If he comes in to attack me, which he probably will, he's going to get overwhelmed by numbers, I think. Now, I have to readjust my placing and scripting, because if he comes in to attack me, he will be landing in my rear. So I need to move my Magi up. Unfortunately, this does mean that when I attack, the mages are going to be in range of the crossbows, but there's really not much I can do about that. I'm going to put my mages forward. Like this. Just in one long, long line that pretty much reaches across the screen. That will be okay. And then we'll put some geomancers back behind like that. Scatter out some of my commanders. Hither and yon here. Oh, that's another Imperial Geomancer. Fu Manchu. Okay, great. So we've got a scattering. We're going to put a unit of archers behind there. And the infantry. Let's take a couple of the smaller infantry units as well. We've got 3 big blocks of infantry plus 2 lines of infantry. And they're all just scripted to attack closest. So they're just going to surge forward immediately. We'll put 1 unit back there. And let's put them in a box and put them back here as well. We've also got a unit of crossbows. So now we've got a lot of people set at the back to absorb attacks. So hopefully the mages will be pretty much safe. And we're going to set him right like that. Hopefully the mages will be pretty much safe. Let's move the cavalry up a little bit right behind the mages, because they're scripted to attack, so they'll be able to do some damage. Okay, if he comes in, I might lose 1 or 2 mages. What I don't want is, I don't want Gifts from Heaven going off, basically. If Gifts from Heaven starts going off in this situation, I will inflict a ton of collateral damage, because wherever he happens to land and attack, meteors will start falling all around him, and they'll kill anyone anywhere nearby. And when my army is as reliant on tons and tons of infantry as it is right now, that's bad. So I do also have Alteration level 4 now. So I can actually cast Iron Skin. So I can actually drop Iron Skin and Temper Flesh as buffs on the Communion, which I should script up as well. So you should cast... I got Twist Fate. Drop Iron Skin. I already got Personal Luck, Twist Fate. Now we're going to get Iron Skin. Power of the Spheres. You are summoning Earth Power. And you should Body Ethereal. And you should Temper Flesh. There. So now all my Communion Slaves will be super, super well protected. My Communion Masters, less so, but they'll still be... some of my Communion Masters won't have any buffs. Many of them, all the rest will have 1. That's fine. So long as the slaves are protected, I'll be alright, basically. So, this army's going to storm the fort. If he moves in to attack me, he'll hit me, I believe, before I storm the fort, and so I'll have to fight him first. My armies are surging westward in order to set up for the next war, wherever that may be. We've got a whole bunch of Kappas and Dai Bakemono, as well as a bunch of Ubas up here. We can see here that a Jotun werewolf, a Scratcher, has gone underwater to take this province. The war between Ashdod and Jotunheim honestly does not seem to be going great for Ashdod. I may dive in. Like I said, I may well attack Jotunheim here. I think they probably look like the most tempting target. Beyond that, everything's pretty much going to code. I've got some more commanders shifting around to pick up units from various locales. And down here, I am going to have to send somebody to grab some units. It's unfortunate that my resources here are so high compared to my recruitment points. Like, this is what I like to see, because I can use up most of my resources and most of my recruitment points at the same time. Well, maybe not here. These archers are making that a little bit difficult. You take 21 resources, 16 recruitment points, and 13 gold. You're 12 resources. Okay, yeah. I think that's about as close as I'll be able to get. Just swap out for a few Imperial crossbows here. I've already got a whole bunch of I've already got some Ministry footmen in there, as well as 2 of my Imperial horsemen. Actually, we can get another Imperial horseman there real quick. No, that's expensive on gold. I don't like it. I want to be able to use all of my resources, damn it. Okay, we'll get that. We're building up several Imperial Alchemists, which we will use for support, especially throwing down wooden warriors and all that jazz. We've got a few Imperial Geomancers up here, plus some Longbowmen that we're building up to support the armies, which actually makes me think that I should focus more on producing infantry than archers, since we've already got the longbows coming up. So why don't we get a whole bunch of Ministry footmen? There we go. Yeah, let's pump out a couple rounds of Ministry Folk. So we've already got 19, 40. We've already got 60 ranged units here. And we've got another 56 there, plus more longbows being recruited. Yeah. I think that'll be just fine. We've got these infantry moving in. We've got this little army moving down that way. And they will collect some troops from Betaine, I think. Got 11 units there right now. You're moving north. You're moving north. You should actually move over there. You should move over there. You are moving north into that territory. Over here, these folks are going to search for magic sites. There is an arena deathmatch this turn, which I'm not... Well, what I should do is I should send somebody disposable to participate just in case. Just in case I can snatch up something for free. So to do that, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a eunuch. It's worth trying. I'm almost certain to fail, but it's worth trying. So we're going to send Felian to compete in the arena deathmatch. And if it just so happens that nobody else sends anybody, he'll be able to take it home. I think an arena deathmatch must be where Ulm's god got faithful. Because, I mean, I can't think of another... Actually, let's send Nanbagor instead. Yeah, compete in an arena deathmatch. You can just patrol and we'll give you back your cavalry. You're more useful. You have more uses than a random indie commander, so we'll send him instead. Okay. So, with this much mind burn, if he attacks with magic resistance 21, I think we will be able to overwhelm him. We've got, and plus we've also got the smite going down. So that will do damage. So we should be able to burn him down with that fairly quickly. I don't know that there's a better spell to be casting at the moment. I could cast Magic Duel if I had pearls, but I don't have a whole lot of pearls. Because he is an astral mage, and he's actually not a super high level one, if I recall. Yeah, he's level 4. And luck does not protect you from Magic Duel. So basically, the odds would be, if he's level 4 and I'm level, my mage is level 1, he's rolling at +3, so I would have to roll I have to roll 3 points higher than him. I think that would take me like 8 or 9 mages on average would die, and unfortunately that would be a pretty significant blow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah. I could distribute my pearls and do it. I could have 6 people try to magic duel him. It would be a gamble. Pretty significant gamble. I mean, okay, so trading 6 Imperial Geomancers to kill his god for sure would be absolutely worth it. I just don't know. I think I'm just going to go with the Mind Burn plan. And then, I mean, he'll be surrounded by infantry. His protection is high, but not high enough to shrug off damage from Ministry Guardsmen. So I think... And of course, I'll lower his protection by surrounding him. So as long as as my mages don't go crazy and start dropping meteors on my own infantry, I should be able to hack him down. It'll take some time, but I should be able to do it. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna go that route. I don't think he can't fight his way through this army. I really doubt he can. And we will get ready to attack Jotunheim coming up shortly here. So, thanks for watching. That is turn 26, and I will see you in turn 27. Take care.